At some point today, you probably heard music. Maybe it was playing in the background while you made coffee. Maybe it came through your headphones on the way to somewhere. Maybe it was just a few seconds of a song through someone else's speaker and you barely noticed it, but something inside you responded. A shift in mood, a memory surfacing, a feeling that arrived before you could name it. You did not choose to feel that. It just happened. And the fact that it happened automatically, immediately, without any conscious decision on your part is one of the strangest and most revealing things about what it means to be human, because music does not have to affect you. There is no logical reason why organized sound should produce emotion, and yet it does. In every culture ever studied, in every period of human history we can reach, it did something to the earliest humans who experienced it, and understanding what that something was changes everything about why music exists at all. Let us start with what the evidence actually shows. The oldest known musical instruments are bone flutes. The most famous were found in caves in what is now southern Germany. Fragments of vulture bone, mammoth ivory, shaped with extraordinary care into instruments capable of producing a range of tones. They are dated to approximately 40 to 45,000 years ago. But here is what matters. These instruments were not primitive. They were not accidental. They required planning, skill, and a clear intention to produce sound that went far beyond what survival demanded. Someone chose to make music. Someone practiced. Someone played for others. And those others listened. And something happened to them when they did. Neuroscientist Stefan Kulsch at the University of Bergen has spent years studying what music does to the human brain, and what he has found is striking in its reach. Music activates not just the auditory cortex, the region responsible for processing sound, but also the limbic system, the network of structures most closely associated with emotion, memory, and social bonding. It triggers the release of dopamine, the same neurochemical involved in reward, pleasure, and motivation. But dopamine alone does not explain the real mystery, because plenty of things trigger dopamine. Food does, sex does, winning does. All of them are tied directly to survival or reproduction. Music is tied to neither. It also engages the brain's default mode network, associated with imagination, self-reflection, and the stories we tell ourselves. When you hear music, your entire brain responds, not just the part that hears, the part that feels, the part that remembers, the part that imagines, and still that does not answer the deeper question: why would a brain built by evolution to conserve energy and chase survival ever bother lighting up like that for nothing but sound? Musicologist and cognitive scientist David Huron at Ohio State University has argued that music works by manipulating expectation. The human brain is a prediction machine. It is constantly building models of what is about to happen next, based on everything it has experienced before. Music, Huron argues, exploits this system with extraordinary precision. It sets up patterns. It creates expectations. And then it fulfills them. delays them, subverts them, or resolves them in ways that produce specific emotional responses. The shiver down your spine when a melody resolves exactly where you hoped it would. The tension when it doesn't. The release when it finally does. Which means your brain is not just listening to music. It is gambling on it, second by second. And music keeps paying off in feeling, but that still leaves the biggest question of all. If music is useless for survival, why did evolution never get rid of it? You cannot eat it. It does not protect you from predators, and yet it appears, without exception, in every human culture ever documented. It appears in the archaeological record tens of thousands of years before agriculture, before writing, before cities. Whatever music is for, it is for something deep. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University has proposed one of the most compelling answers. Dunbar is best known for his work on social group size and the role of language in human bonding. But he has also argued in a series of papers and in his book, Friends, that music, particularly communal music making and singing, functions as a form of social bonding at scale. Language, Dunbar notes, allows you to bond with one person at a time. You can nurture one relationship through conversation. But music allows you to bond with an entire group simultaneously, everyone singing together, moving together, breathing together, creates a synchrony of experience, one that has been associated with oxytocin release, reduced social tension, and a powerful sense of shared identity, something that almost no other activity can replicate. Think about what that would have meant to an early human group, a group of 30 or 40 people living together, depending on one another for survival, navigating the constant tensions of competition, jealousy, conflict, and hierarchy. Language could manage some of that, but music could do something language could not. It could bring everyone into the same emotional state at the same time. It could dissolve individual tension into collective experience. It could make 30 separate nervous systems feel, briefly, like one. This is why music appears at nearly every significant human ritual: birth, death, war, harvest, prayer, celebration. Not simply because tradition demands it, but because something inside the music does something to the group that almost nothing else can do as efficiently. And there is one more piece of the puzzle, one that musicians have always known long before science caught up. Psychologist Daniel Levitin at McGill University spent years as a record producer before becoming a neuroscientist, and through decades of research, he documented something remarkable. The emotional power of music is not in the notes themselves. It is in the relationship between the notes, the timing, the dynamics, the tiny imperfections, the subtle moments that reveal a human intention behind the sound. A perfectly metronomic performance of the exact same notes produces only a fraction of the emotional response that a human performance does. Because what the brain is responding to is not just the sound. It is the evidence of another key human being expressing something through the sound. which means the first human listener was not just hearing notes. When the first human heard the music, when the first notes of a bone flute drifted through a cave or across a fire, what they were hearing was another human being reaching toward them with something that had no name yet, something that said in no language, but somehow in every language at once, "I am here. I feel something. Come closer." And the body responded the way it always has. Goosebumps, a slower or deeper breath, something moving through the chest that is not quite emotion and not quite memory, but somehow both at once. That response is still inside you. It has not changed in 45,000 years. Every time music moves you without warning, without your permission, in the background of a coffee shop, through your headphones, or from someone else's speaker, you are experiencing the same ancient machinery coming to life. 45,000 years disappear in an instant. Something reached toward you across an impossible distance. And without thinking, without deciding, you reached back.